So this question asked you to rewrite the given expression in terms of x only, cosine of 2 times sine inverse of x. So the idea is that anytime you have an inverse trig function, it just stands for an angle. So I don't know exactly what this angle is because they didn't use numbers, they just used letters x. So I'll call it theta. But the important thing is, ST in math means such that I know that sine inverse of x equals some angle theta such that if I take the sine of that angle, it should equal, in this case, x. Now, trig ratios are typically ratios, fractions, and you can remember that you can always transform any non-fraction into a fraction by putting it over 1. Now, this is a concept that we talked about in this unit. It's a concept that we talked about in Unit 6 and Unit 5. We now have an actual trig ratio, and anytime you're given a trig ratio, you can always draw a right triangle, because knowing a trig ratio is sort of like having the key to the entire triangle. So for any given right triangle that has theta in it, we know, according to this information, we can bet money on it that the sine of that angle opposite over hypotenuse is x over 1. And of course, we can use Pythagoras' theorem to figure out the missing side length. The missing side length would be the square root of 1 minus x squared. So if we go back to the question, we can rethink this question as asking us to evaluate or to rewrite cosine of 2 times some angle, which we call theta. Right. Notice what we have here. This is cosine of 2 times theta, cosine of 2 theta, cosine of double of theta. This is just a double angle identity application. So you'd go to your reference sheet and just rewrite down the double angle formula for cosine. Now, cosine has lots of different, has 3 variations for the double angle. It does not matter which one you pick. You should get the same answer in the end. I don't know. I'll choose the first one because, I don't know, it's there. So according to the reference sheet, cosine of 2 theta is cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta. How am I supposed to figure out what these guys are? Well, we have a complete picture. So you can just read it. Just read SOHCAHTOA, opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. So we should know, according to this picture, that the cosine of this angle is adjacent over hypotenuse. So that's square roots of 1 minus x squared, and then it's being squared. Minus sine of this angle, x over 1, opposite over hypotenuse, and that's being squared. So just simplify it. Square of a square root, they cancel, so that's 1 minus x squared, minus, and x over 1 is just x squared, and then you can combine those guys to 2x squared. So that's it. That's what cosine of 2 times sine inverse of x equals.